Hearing aid batteries for scale. Okay.
Well, where's our scale?
I don't know. Text messages. Hey!
Woo.
Happy some amount of slight justice day.
Yeah. Welcome back to this week's podcast, which this week will be brought to you by some good news and food distractions.
This week's podcast is also brought to you by hot sleep and being so lit it's wild.
I am your host, Madison.
I'm your other host, Jesse James. Welcome to our 420. Do I need to?
Ooh.
Welcome to our 420 conversational leftist mukbang. The weather's too hot.
It's too hot, and there's a lot going on today.
Yeah.
So
yeah, there's been a lot of big trucks driving up to City Hall today, which is concerning, maybe.
Like semi-trucks or like armored trucks?
I can't see it very well. It just looks like big trucks. Not like full-sized 18-wheelers or anything, just big.
All right. Well, I still don't like the sound of that. I don't
love it.
Trucks generally, so.
Yeah, less trucks would be cool.
It'd be nice.
More buses. I'm not intimidated by buses. Well, I can start off with some food.
I think that's a great way to get into all this.
Yeah. So I've got a weird selection of stuff. A lot of orange stuff. I've got an orange. I've got some carrots. So Look forward to some ASMR.
Lots of orange.
I've got tiny bacon sandwiches that I made that are a little bit cold. I'm going to have some grapefruit high chews for you soon. Thank you, phone people. So that could be a snack corner thing, I guess. I've got... All right, I'm going to be opening these at different times. I've got a watermelon mint energy seltzer that I'm going to start off with. Instead of coffee. We'll see how that works. And then I've got some pomegranate kombucha business. And then in honor of 420, other than some snacks I showed off last week that might make a reappearance in a bit, I've got these chocolate-covered medjool dates, which sound pretty good. And I've got baked cheese curls, which seem like the most stereotypical 420 thing I could get. Actually, to open these dates, I think I'm going to need a thing. So I'll be right back.
Okay. It's important that we open the dates. I have a very excited food corner today that I cannot wait to share with everyone.
Wow.
How's everyone's 420? Mine's great.
What's great?
I was asking everyone how their 420 was.
Your 420 got off to a start already.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's great.
I don't really do the weed, so unfortunately.
I also don't, so this is a fun experience for all of us, all at the same time.
Well, let me get into these dates.
That's important.
Mm-hmm. For any government officials watching this, that was a comb. And not a knife, because that would not be appropriate. Oh yeah, these are... Oh, they're salted as well. These are some...
Yeah, I saw that on the... Ooh.
Thick.
That's a big date.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna wait till after I eat some of this other stuff, but I have that out. And This has a tear strip, so I don't need to do anything about this. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Let's just... Oh. Is this a sativa vape? How the fuck did this get in... Dot's homestyle snacks are nasty. What the hell? Well, I guess I better hit it.
Oh my god.
I don't smoke weed, so this is probably a terrible idea, but here it goes.
Why? Mm.
That's weed, all right. And non-monetization. If something weird happens,
Oh no.
that's the reason.
What am I supposed to do for my income now that we're demonetized?
I don't know.
What shall I do?
If anybody wants to get a hold of, I assume this lady and ask her what the fuck her deal is, they probably should. It's at dotspretzels.com, so ask her why they're putting vapes in their stuff like cereal prices.
I mean, hey, that seems like a really great deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's stronger than I would have liked.
All
right.
Well, all right. My corner is pretty exciting, and I'll wait to get into some of it later on. But I went and walked and got a coffee earlier. This is a cardamom latte that is very good. That is also very melted. Other exciting items include this bag of fried chicken flavored puff corn.
Uh-huh.
It was part of a lovely care package I received from someone. What else do I have? This tiny little bear gummy.
The fuck? All right.
And candy cigarettes. So
that is definitely some Japanese business.
But here's my 420 contribution. This Fiesta Pack Takis.
I mean, that is pretty peak 420.
Yeah, you can't really get more 420 than these. But I'm gonna get into these. That's not a Taki. Oh no. What is this?
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
What are all these places doing?
I don't know. Wow. I don't know what flavor this is. I better try it though. It's weed flavor. So
this is going to be a sloppy, terrible podcast.
Mm-hmm. It is.
I noticed that it didn't really look like yours came out of the bag.
Weird.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why it looked that way.
Some of us are just luckier than others, I guess.
I guess. What I would give to have a bag of chips with a free vape in it, that'd be pretty cool.
The best skunk weed you can get is the kind you've not paid for. So.
Yep. I'm still figuring this out. I don't even know that I got very much. That's probably not important.
Yeah. Yes. Who needs to know things?
Not I. Oh, I also have this tiny little... I'm very excited about this.
That looks like bath salts, but like a sampler to me.
It kind of looks like mini, like styrofoam beads.
Oh, that's not the texture. I got an image of this earlier, and I could not see that it was like little tiny packing peanuts.
Yeah, it is like, yeah, little tiny packing peanuts. And it just says a bottle sour on the outside.
Okay.
So I'm thinking this is going to be on the sour side.
Well, I don't know why you would think that. Huh?
It's not sour.
Well, what the fuck?
It's very sweet. Oh no, I spilled it. Yeah, I don't know why that's called bottle sour. It tastes like a powdered sugar. So.
All right. Well,
all right.
As advertised, just like everything else in that bag, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was gonna, until everything else happened, I was gonna start off with I've now been fully vaccinated. So I'm on the 2 weeks to relative safety for the time being.
Excellent. That is good. How was your appointment experience? Was it just?
It was extremely fast. I went and got one of these guys filled out.
Mm-hmm.
And then where is it? I got that little sticker that's like, I've been vaccinated. I think it's sitting over there somewhere.
Ooh.
And at least for me, it was completely like asymptomatic. The sore spot didn't last as long as the first injection, and I didn't have anything. It was kind of like just getting a vaccination when you're a kid. Like you get it and then nothing.
Yeah.
I looked online. There's a handful of people out there trying to figure out if like it didn't work because they didn't feel it. But apparently that's just what happens with like a fair amount of people is nothing. So that's fun. But there was one side effect. And that is horrifyingly vivid dreams for still ongoing. Though they've changed. Last night I had a dream that I was hanging out outside of a bar smoking. That's all the dream was. And it was like a pretty like intense, realistic, like, am I really here kind of dream.
Mm-hmm.
Before that though, it was just sex dreams, and it was like intense to a point where it felt like being asleep and being awake were two different lifetimes, and that was fucking weird.
Oh.
I have to assume that is like because apparently that's happening to a lot of people. That seems like a psychological thing of like, oh, I'm not in imminent danger anymore. So your brain is just like weird dopamine shots. And I guess that's how it's happening for some people. Because I don't feel different during the day. But being asleep is something lately. It's an adventure.
That is an interesting side effect. But yeah, that could make sense that your brain is just suddenly like, oh, I'm not going to die a certain death.
Yeah.
So I can have a little bit of fun.
Oh. It feels like a over recalibration kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, fuck everybody in this town. I keep going by the fucking bar at night when I go for walks, and for a little while they were putting paper over their window so you couldn't see what they were doing inside even. They took the paper down, but it's still just like no masks, no distancing. It's just like there's one red room in Kirkland that is packed full of people that are just like trying to spread shit to each other.
It's just one bar, or it's a lot of them?
It's the bar we went to, which is probably not surprising.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, that does not surprise me, actually.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's been exciting. But is that some popcorn?
It is some chicken flavored popcorn. All right. This isn't happening this way.
Do you need this? I just kind of...
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, perfect. Does it smell like fried chicken?
Not really.
Excellent. Is it sour?
It's not sour. It does actually kind of taste like fried chicken.
Oh,
That's not bad.
nice.
It's kind of just like a vague chicken broth sort of taste. So
That sounds all right to me. I have chicken and a biscuit right there.
yeah.
And it is probably chicken and biscuit from when I had it on this last, so it's probably like half a year old. But it's there, and it's chips that I own.
That's the only thing that's important.
So your vaccine is in 2 weeks or 1 week?
2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. My roommate just got her second vaccine, and she didn't have too tough of a time with it.
Did she have anything?
No, I think she was just like a little bit tired that day and kind of just.
Okay. That sounds all right.
Yeah.
I have a feeling it's like all medical stuff where they kind of tell you the bad version that some people will get as like the norm, so that you feel better about it when it doesn't get like that.
Yeah, probably. So
our original recording date was when I got mine, like directly after, and I was kind of hoping for like something to happen for interest, but just as well, nothing did. So
probably for the best.
Speaking of COVID stuff, slightly against my will, but it was still fun to do. I went and saw my grandma, my mom, and my sister, who all, well, up until recently, it was people who lived in like the Portland area, Alaska, and New York, respectively. And they were all here for like 2.5 hours in the middle of the day. And I went and had the safest outdoor eating thing I could find. It was nice to do. It was good to see people. I still feel like that's not something people should probably be doing, but you know, it definitely was a like the amount of guilt if I skip this might outweigh the amount of actual danger. So
yeah,
let's go see what this outdoor dining thing will allow for safety.
Did you guys go somewhere that I would know of?
I don't think we went, but we went to Skillet in Capitol Hill.
Okay.
It's one of the only places that I could think of that I knew without going there that they would be taking precautions seriously. I used to live next to it. And I knew they already were set up for outdoor dining before all of this happened. And it was a pretty safe version of it. I think the main thing that I saw that bothered me is that you're supposed to wear your mask whenever you're talking to the server or ordering or anything like that. And I could tell in just the like maybe hour or so we were there that like that's only like it helps that they tell people that, but there's a lot of like, hey, could you get me this? Like I'll just kind of pretend like I'm helping.
Yeah.
But it seemed like the servers were kind of accustomed to that. They were kind of like standing off to the sideways, like, hey! And all the menus were like scanned barcode menus, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, thankfully, people I was with have been keeping themselves fairly safe. So,
Yeah, I've seen like the what are they called, QR code menu things at places down here. It's a cool idea. Yep.
I think anything that requires a certain level of investment to access things like food is not what we should turn to completely, but I do think that, especially for now, that's a good idea just to have the option.
Yeah.
One person of the group, at least, is very likely to have a phone that can scan something, so
Yeah.
it's probably a safe enough bet.
Definitely better than cleaning those menus like 100 times a day or whatever that would be. But...
Or doing what a lot of public places are doing and cleaning once a day and being like, it's clean every day.
mm-hmm.
Did you just bite that cigarette in half?
This is a weird flavor.
I would be surprised if it weren't.
It's like vaguely menthol.
Good, great.
Is this Camel Crush in Japanese?
Mm-hmm.
I actually downloaded the Google Translate app where you can like use your camera and it'll instantly translate things.
It's accurate enough.
It gives you an idea. I haven't used it on any of this stuff yet, but I had a shirt that I've had for like years. I think I got it at a thrift store.
Are you glad you have that shirt still, or is this like a...
Well, I'd always wondered because I was like, I'm always a little hesitant to wear it places because I'm like, I'm not 100% sure what this means. But it's just a picture of like two Japanese women in like traditional, like Japanese style illustration, and in like the kimono and the hair and everything, and there's like symbols on the right, and apparently it means like after the dance or something like that.
Okay.
Or like
That's not
after
bad.
the festival dance. So I think it's supposed to be portraying like, I don't know what two women would look like after a specific festival dance or something.
Okay.
Which is kind of cool, but anyway, I also use it on another shirt that I got that just says like drink water because hydration is good.
Yep.
I
Great.
really like that shirt too.
That is more what I would expect.
Yeah. That's basically what it ended up being. But
I'm always afraid it's going to be the worst thing possible when I check stuff like that.
Yeah.
I got some art from somebody a while back that had writing on their work, and it ended up being fine, but I was definitely like, they could pretty much write anything on this and it would be fine for most people, I think.
Yeah. It's a little nerve-wracking.
One of the things I have mine for is for untranslated games from Japan, because I have dork tendencies. And aside from having to use all of the backwards controls for everything, because Japan rotates everything like one to the counterclockwise direction for their like selections.
Oh.
Like if you're familiar with a PlayStation controller, which is sort of the more universal of the controllers at the moment, they have an X at the bottom and they have a circle on the right in the buttons. And circle is always affirmative for Japanese stuff, which is what the Nintendo controller uses. They have an A and then a B, but for some reason Sony flipped it and like made X all of their affirmatives. So playing online stuff with Japanese people in Japanese text only for fighting games can be frustrating for others when I all of a sudden am like, oh shit, I think I just like challenged them to like a bracket match or something when I meant to like cancel out. That kind of shit can be a little bit interesting, but
yeah. Well, it's cool that you can use it on the games though, because there are some like styles of the way that it's written that Google Translate has like a really hard time with.
Yeah, the thing that sucks is that part of the main game that I have that's non-translated, it's like a fighting game with a bunch of characters. Well, okay, it's called Dengenki Bunko Fighting Climax. So if you want to look it up, you can. But it not only has like characters from a bunch of like animes and stuff, it also has like a copy of usually the first volume of the light novel for every one of those things. So there's like probably 2 gigs worth of just books in Japanese on this too that are just like, I can't read any of this, and like trying to translate it by like reading off of TV while like using a controller for pages. And I tried it a little bit and it's not tenable, but it was a fun dream. But that's it's a useful thing. Hopefully at some point that becomes better. It's okay now, but it would be nice if it were more okay.
Yeah.
So I mentioned Goop. So I want to say on maybe Friday, maybe before that. I think it was earlier last week. I tweeted out a thing. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was just a reaction to me thinking about Goop, because I thought that would be this ended up in my my cheese curls bag. Do you want it?
It was gonna have a special extra flavor now.
Anyway, so I tweeted out a thing. I think I did at Goop, but I got like, not only did I get a bunch of Goop related ads and like stuff surfacing on all of my like algorithm shit, I also, while listening to podcasts, 2 separate podcasts last week talked about Goop shit. So like whatever overarching Goop spirit took over my whole life, I didn't mean it. I just don't want to think about Goop anymore. But also,
you've angered the Goop gods.
I heard about a thing via a podcast called Waypoints, which is about video games. That's very sneaky.
I'm trying. Minimizing the sound. I'm sorry, audience. I'm sorry.
Have a good night. All right. Well, this is going to be a process. So they came across a product that apparently Selena Gomez is hawking, or endorsing at least, that is just essentially a space blanket tarp that you wrap into extremely completely, and then you stay in it and sweat for like 90 minutes. That's just called like a sweat bed.
A sweat bed.
And apparently we've gone back to like medieval era medicines, because you're just supposed to sit in it and sweat a whole bunch and sit in it and like be as hot as possible, and then you're supposed to not get clean for a while because of the naturally enhancing properties of being disgusting. And then the cleaning instructions are just take like an antibacterial cloth, just kind of like wipe it down, which is not enough. If you are just sweating buckets into this fucking like tarp, you can't just like give it a little antibacterial.
Is the blanket tarp thing absorbent or not?
God, I hope not.
Are you really just like burritoing yourself inside of just moist?
Yep.
No, that doesn't sound good.
Well, according to Selena Gomez, will turn your whole life around. Anyway,
well,
so Goop needs to back off. I didn't mean it. I went and looked at Gwipple herself's website, and they are selling vacation packages to islands that don't have COVID currently, which seems like a great way for those islands to get COVID.
Is the headline of all those vacations like, never had COVID, come spread?
Hey, everybody.
God.
We've been looking for COVID, but we haven't gotten it yet, so we thought maybe you could give it to us. So that seems like a nightmare. So Goop's out there still doing exactly what Goop does.
Well, yeah, that does sound pretty in Goop's lane.
That is thick.
Sounds juicy. Not juicy, but chewy.
This has a lot of heft. That's quite good. And it's decent dark chocolate, too.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of heft, there's something in here that has heft that I was going to open.
Oh, okay.
This, I've never had one of these before.
I know exactly what that is. It
feels like just a big Cheeto.
Yep.
Yay! I'm excited about that. And there's a cartoon octopus on the outside, so I'm guessing this is like octopus flavored.
Yep.
So we're gonna.
I used to get those at the store down the street.
Whoa.
What color is it?
Oh.
Yeah, that's an octopus Cheeto right there.
Oh boy, I can see through it.
Yeah, I did try to drink through one of those once.
Which one?
The regular cheese Cheeto one.
Okay. All right, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be a very ASMR heavy episode.
It is. Oh yeah.
That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
These things are always just a little bit sweeter than I would like.
Yeah, I do wish that they made them for adults, but they aren't.
Pretty good. Still pretty good. I like the texture a lot.
The regular flavor ones are astonishingly just very big Cheetos. Which I'm a big fan of. And you can buy them in bundled bags of like 25. I think that's how I got them.
I mean, that sounds pretty awesome because I would rather stick just like one big Cheeto in my mouth than like a lot.
Tell me about it. They make chocolate covered ones too that are just big chocolate covered Cheetos.
That is very interesting.
Better than you'd expect. Or exactly what you would expect if, again, you're nasty.
Are they cheese and chocolate flavored or just like the corn?
Lightly cheese, but mostly it tastes kind of like that popcorn, like the tricorn, but in like a chocolatey tube, I guess.
That sounds pretty good.
Mm-hmm. I purposefully didn't do too much of the weed, so I'm not like feeling anything specific, but I have noticed that my eating patterns are voracious.
Yeah, I'm about there.
Yeah.
The voracious eating patterns. I also tried not to do too much of the weed, but it's been a while since I've done any of the weed.
Mm-hmm.
So this is gonna be fun.
The last time we'd have some weed stories. That might actually be a good 420 thing. I'll start it off because mine are mostly horrendous.
Good.
The last time I had weed, the last time I had any considerable amount, it was in hot chocolate. It was the amount that was apparently ideal, according to the person who was helping me along with this process. Ideal for them apparently meant one of the 10 or so milligram edibles all at once.
Oh no.
But it was liquid. So they had also chosen the version of it that is the hardest hitting.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was put into hot chocolate. So I probably got a bunch of that at the bottom or something too.
Oh no.
So I had that, and then that was probably about 9 at night, and until 7 the next morning, I spent. Nothing ever happened to me in terms of recognition of things or general coherence, but physically, my body for probably from 11 to 7 started doing a thing where I was conscious for about 5 seconds, and then I would black out and then be conscious again for about 5 seconds, as though I was my consciousness was looking at parked cars as you're rushing past them. So going to the bathroom was literally okay, I know I'm going to black out here in a second. And then I would come through again, and I'd be I am closer to the bathroom. Let's get closer. And then I would and it was extremely unpleasant.
That sounds real bad.
Yeah. I tried to force my way through it a little bit because I couldn't sleep while that was happening. That's why I know it went until 7 a.m. And I tried playing, I think probably Binding of Isaac, a game that's you can kind of do things and then stop and do things and stop, and it was just even that was almost impossible, because if I didn't finish things by the time I blacked out again for a second, then I was just having to come back into it and be oh shit, I'm doing this. So that was the last time I had any considerable amount. The most notable time before that, though, is when I had, and I think I might have mentioned this on an earlier episode, I had just weed in a pipe that was laced with opium, and I had not been familiar with it before that, so I had 20 to 30 hits of it.
Oh, boy.
And I didn't know that the drug itself didn't require you to just cigarette smoke that shit. So I was fully incapacitated for that was actually probably only for maybe 2.5 hours. But so I was in the woods behind the apartment that I lived in college. I went on a blind date, and we went and got pizza. This person seemed to be one of those people who is interested in dating, but not interested in, let's say, being in a relationship.
Mm.
So the fun part of it was pretty much over when I got way too high, and I did that, and then threw up, and then crawled on my hands and knees, mostly across 100 yards of parking lot, maybe.
Oh no.
And then crawled up 3 flights of stairs, and then called my dad, and he was it'll be fine. Opium, huh? I mean, it's not going to do anything to you.
That sounds like a dad reaction.
It was very nice. I was roommates with Natalie at the time, and I think they were like playing Guitar Hero or some shit in their room. I just come like kind of like crawl stumbling through the apartment into my room. I seem to have a memory of them looking out their door like,
all right, you doing okay?
Yeah. I'm glad I had that experience, but I wouldn't want it again. Also, it was very funny how fast when I threw up. I only threw up once, but I threw up, and the person that I was with went from like, "Are you doing okay?" to like, "Oh right, I got something I gotta go do." Like,
oh no!
Instantly. Like, I was like coming back out of having thrown up the one time, and they were like already like 15 paces away. Like, oh, I'm out of here. So
wow, that's a little bit weak.
Hey, that's fine.
After one puke.
I mean, I didn't know him well. But after that, I found out a bunch of stuff that I was like, that's fantastic. I'm glad that that was cut off so completely.
So it works out. Yeah. Well, that's good. That sounds like for sure a good one-time experience, maybe.
It was a good one-time experience, definitely.
Yeah.
If you don't have a very drug-positive dad and a relatively uneventful parking lot, then maybe don't do it.
Yeah, that seems like a bad call without those two items. But
how about you? Do you have any fun weed stories?
I'm trying to think of some. I don't really have any super interesting ones. I was never a huge partaker of that just because I've found that it mostly makes me tired. And I just like to fall asleep generally, but
pretty much anything that is smoke, I have an allergic reaction to. I'm just bad with particulates, so I've never been a weedist either.
Yeah, I don't like smoking things, and I have done like edibles a little bit, but those usually just put me to sleep. Like I'll go through about 10 or 15 minutes of being incredibly hungry, and I'll eat like a bunch of crap, and then I'll just like pass out in my clothes. So
you just have a dirtbag simulator just waiting for you.
That's basically what it is. If I have an edible, it's like a dirtbag simulator. I'll just eat a bag of chips and then fall asleep on the floor.
That's perfect.
Not very productive. I'm very jealous of people who are like, oh yeah, I just smoke and it gives me so much creativity, and I get like I knew someone who would smoke all day at work and just like be high the entire day and could make like PowerPoints and shit. And I'm like,
that sounds like a superpower. Like the basically everybody I know is like totally fine with weed. It doesn't have any negative effects. It's like they're perfect. Like, I'm just gonna have a bunch of weed and then I'm gonna have a great time and I'll see you tomorrow. And like, I can't. I would have, like, half of the nights this week, I would have been high as balls if I could have been. But that just wasn't something I could do. So instead, I mean, maybe I walk around at 2 a.m. and talk to myself. Like, maybe I do that instead. That's fine.
Yeah.
Maybe I run into a lot of really overzealous police activity while I'm outside doing nothing. That's cool.
Weird. Huh? Weird how that's happening.
Love it.
So fun. But no, I don't have any very interesting weed stories. The first like maybe 5 times I smoked, I would get like physically stuck to the couch, like in the fetal position, like I could not do anything about it.
You had to have somebody bring the cheese curls to your mouth.
Yes. Yeah. And like peel me off of the couch later. So it wasn't like unpleasant, but it wasn't like it wasn't relaxing.
Really? Yeah.
But I very much get what I am very jealous of the people who are like, I'm just gonna, smoke a bunch of weed and it'll be fun and great and I don't have to worry about that. And I'm like, that is not my case at all.
So many artists use it as like a way to relax and work on stuff, and that sounds so much better than I don't even know how I relax. I don't relax, I guess. I listened to Knowledge Fight got written up in the New York Times.
I saw that, yeah.
But I was going to say things like listening to them analyze Alex Jones is how I relax, I guess. So that's my weed.
That's what I listen to unwind is Alex Jones. My God. Yeah, I did see that they got written up. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But
I think this weed is making me interrupt you more. It's like we're back in podcast number 5.
That's fine, because I'm like, my train of thought is not all together at the moment, so I keep forgetting what I was going to say. Oh, I was going to say, my thing for relaxing and art doing is usually just like really stupid concoctions of alcohol, but
yeah, I mean, me too. But if you by concoction you mean slow sipping bourbon or tequila or London Pink or whatever else I bought, that's a terrible idea.
Slow sipping London Pink.
Yeah. Well, when you say it like that, it doesn't sound great.
I was up late a few nights ago, or like sometime last week, and I made some sort of white wine and what brand is this? Some sort of like botanical gin.
Something. White wine and gin. That's a brave choice.
It was not good.
Yeah, I bet.
Was not good.
What you want with wine is to like kind of add a sour, minty punch to it. That's usually what I think of with wine. So it was good?
I mean, no. It was interesting. It actually wasn't like horrible. I think if I put some other things in it to just add a little more interest to the flavor, it would have been doable. Well, I mean, I still did it, but it would have been more enjoyable than what happened.
It's like when I made wine, Coke, and coffee into a drink. It was like...
That sounds really good, though.
The blackest black and the most bitter bitter.
Do you have a name for that? Or does that have a name?
Art oil?
Art oil?
Inspiration juice? I'm not sure.
Pure fuel?
Not CDC recommended. That's probably what I'd call it.
All right, yeah. Those all seem like they would work. I know that wine and Coke is a thing.
Yeah, that's
what's the name? Kalimoto? Kalimoto something.
Mojito, yeah. I forget how you say it. But yeah, that's a thing. That's a good Spanish option for when you want to get very, very sugary with your drink. Speaking of very sugary, I need to know about this.
This is the bear head.
Is this going to be the sour one finally?
We'll see. It doesn't say. There's a rainbow on the front, so I'm guessing maybe not. Ah! Shit. Wow, this is really in the mold. Oh, wait. Is this like...
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, eat this on the podcast. This should work out great.
Okay, I was trying to figure out if it was like a liquid, like a viscous thing, or if it was a gummy, and it's a gummy.
Okay. Get in there.
I don't. It was a good gummy. Good, like, teeth feel.
Oh, yeah, the teeth feel. You gotta look out for that.
I have no idea what flavor this is supposed to be, though. Red candy flavor. Pink candy flavor. Pretty good. I liked the bear head.
Just bacon.
For good measure.
Oh, yeah. You don't want to let that pink bear head sit in there for too long.
You have to balance the sweet and the savory. Those are very pleasant.
I found that things that are like overbearing American foods especially work really well in Japanese stuff where they kind of like half the flavor.
Yeah. Like, I would expect a fried chicken flavor something to be absolutely horrible.
Yeah, if you got like a Lay's bag of chips that was called fried chicken, you're going to get like the saltiest chicken and a biscuit you've ever had.
Have you tried their chicken and waffles fries?
I must have at some point. I can't see a version of reality where I haven't eaten those.
Yeah, I did a long time ago. I remember thinking, yeah, I guess it tastes like chicken and waffles.
Uh-huh.
But I wasn't excited about it.
Yeah. I think the best one is still the all-dressed, the Canadian chip. It's like a vinegar ketchup chip, and it is just good.
Yeah.
All the other flavored ones started up after that got brought over to the US for a bit, and none of them have been as good. I thought there's like a truffle parmesan or something that was okay. But most of them are like, how would you like a Greek gyro in a chip, and then you try it and it's just like like soy sauce. Or the midnight burger was one of the chip flavors.
Wait,
like,
it was just called Midnight Burger?
Yeah, let me find a picture of the bag for you. It's not good.
I want to find a list of these, because there's been a lot by now.
That's true. They have really done a lot of chip crimes out there.
They really have.
I think Midnight Burger came out around the same time as Street Taco or something.
Ugh. Absolutely not. Oh boy.
Let's see. Oh, okay. It might have been Midnight Taco.
Because it was not better.
Because it was a late night all-nighter cheeseburger.
Oh, then those are Doritos. That's not even Lay's. I was thinking of Lay's.
Let me look up Midnight Taco and see what comes up on the internet.
No. I ate all.
Yep. Oh, sorry. It's Tacos at Midnight, not Midnight Taco. Big difference.
That is a big difference, actually.
Is it?
Yeah, Midnight Taco has better better vibe than Tacos at Midnight. Okay, so the Lay's flavors have been crispy taco, everything bagel with cream cheese,
okay,
fried green tomatoes, bacon mac and cheese, mango salsa. What is this one? Wasabi ginger. I've never seen that. Cappuccino.
Right. I've had most of these. Cappuccino was bad.
Huh.
It tasted like a poorly made caramel dessert chip or something.
Ew.
Oh.
Truffle fries. New York Reuben.
Truffle fries was okay.
It seems like it would be alright. Southern biscuits and gravy. That just seems to be fine.
I remember that one not really tasting like much.
Like, biscuits and gravy isn't... I mean, it has flavor, but it's not even really, like, a flavor. The enjoyment of biscuits and gravy is the texture, so I don't understand why you would be like, let's take all the good things out of biscuits and gravy.
Well, you like the flavor of a little bit of butter, some meat slop, and pepper. So you need that on a chip.
Right. But, I don't know.
As a person who makes gravy, gravy's kind of disgusting.
It is a bit, but it's amazing. Greek Town Gyro is the last one.
Okay, yeah, that is the last one I remember. That's not nearly enough. I know that there are a lot more novelty chips than that.
Yeah, there are. This is the ones that came up.
You find some good ones?
They had a line called Passport to Flavor for the Olympics.
Good. Great.
Which included Greek tzatziki, Brazilian picana,
okay,
tikka masala.
Okay.
That could actually be good.
All of these could be good because they're all like one flavor or two at the most.
Yeah. And Szechuan chicken. I mean, I would try all of them.
Obviously. Yeah. No question in my mind if you put those in front of me. Oh, do you want me to try this weird chip? Absolutely.
Yeah. I've been put on this earth for one purpose.
One purpose. As these biscuits and gravy chips.
It's my calling. These are little stars.
Oh.
How cute.
They're the Soot Sprite stars.
Oh, really? Is that what they're supposed to be from?
Well, no, those are a pre-existing candy. That's just the candy they throw down where they're like, they grab them and walk away with them.
That makes sense. Interesting. Cute.
That's the interesting thing about Dagashi is that most of those are very old. Like, most of those are like post-war when they started making them.
I was going to say, some of the design does look very like, it's very 50s. Cool. Yeah. And I'm very much enjoying it. So, like this can of mini sour.
Also probably not sour.
Probably not sour. So many things are promising me sour, and then they're just not really, but it's okay.
Is it? Because I would be pissed.
We'll try this mini sour. This looks like it's supposed to be a Coke can.
Yeah, it looks like a... It looks like the weird, almost a soda that we're familiar with that would come out of a vending machine there. Oh, nice. That has to be good.
This looks kind of weird. Why do they all just like... All of this candy looks like a pill.
Yeah. Really makes you think.
Okay. Actually a little bit sour. Not like...
Oh, nice.
Not anywhere close to the sourness of anything that we would market as sour here, but it was actually sour.
Sour enough to be okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yes. We found it.
What the fuck was that?
My cigarette.
Oh, okay. So is it gum or candy? Because I feel like...
That's the other thing I found out. A lot of this is gum, and I have just been swallowing it.
Hey, you know, no big deal. It's probably fine.
I think it'll be fine. Like this strawberry one. In hindsight, I should have realized because there are only like 6 things in this box. They look like that, but it doesn't. It's not the normal mouthfeel of gum.
It's like a chiclet kind of gum.
Or I would even compare it to kind of what a haichu.
Oh,
feels like.
Yeah. I actually, when I first tried haichus, I felt like I didn't know what the fuck to do with them.
Yeah. But so I found out that I swallowed a bunch of gum today. It's fine.
Nice. Everybody has to swallow a bunch of gum at some point, so.
Yeah.
On a, I guess, related topic now, I found a decent like workout YouTube that I've been using, and it was great until I noticed that there was some character attached to that YouTube channel who's like the example of all the bad things that happen, named Jesse. So in the middle of these workouts, the guy will just be going like, and you're probably feeling the burn in just the right spots on the sides here, unless you're Jesse and you're doing it wrong. And like every video, the guy's just berating Jesse, and it's a shitty coincidence.
That does feel like cosmic somehow that's happening to you.
I bet you're really loving this one, aren't you, Jesse, you jackass?
So
that's been fun. Workout people are so weird.
It's just a YouTube channel?
Yeah.
What kind of workout is it?
So it's focused mostly on core strength, which is sort of the thing that I don't know. I'm not like a workout person beyond general fitness. And I am an eating person, so I've been chubby forever, and I will probably be chubby forever. But, you know, I want to see if there's any, like, extra health I can get in there. I like finding new stuff like that. I used to watch a channel that was like Pilates stuff, and that was fun, but at a certain point, it just isn't. Like, you can do that stuff on your own, but watching somebody do it and tell you about it isn't useful, so most of the stuff I've watched in the past just got rolled into stuff that I do anyway. Probably not in the best way possible, but it's a list of things that I do for, like, non-tool workout stuff. This will probably be the same way, but learning how to do all this stuff also has this man yelling at seemingly me every couple minutes about how terrible I am.
So Jesse is the character who just like does everything wrong, as an example?
He's like another workout YouTuber who is occasionally there, and they have like like they're obviously friends, but they like have an antagonistic way of talking to each other.
Oh, I see.
So it's just constantly berating that guy. Now, I imagine he uses his name to avoid sounding like he's saying that to the people working out, which would be great for 99.9% of people on Earth.
Not so much for the Jessies out there, unfortunately.
Unfortunately. That Jesse needs a nickname, and it needs to be something that other people don't have. Anyway, that's been kind of fun. There are a lot of leg lift exercises that are absolute nightmares. So that's been interesting.
Leg lift exercises?
Yeah, just like one of the exercises is a 6-minute set of stuff that is just like feels like it's going to rip you in half, like you're gonna die. Absolutely. And the guy doing it is like looks like he was molded out of just muscles, and like towards the end of it, he's just like, "Ah!" and like he has to stop for a minute. And that's the first video that I ended up watching, and it was just like that's a lot, but
no, that sounds particularly intimidating.
But the reason why I like this channel is that I'm not going to mention it in case something weird happens with it, but because I've only seen like a handful of videos, and you never know. He has videos that go over like trying to reach certain goals with not just workouts, but like other stuff. And exactly like he obviously is a like a physical education kind of person. So he goes over like here's like the general amounts of stuff that most people are going to have these effects from, and what you should do to counteract it, and a bunch of stuff about like I didn't know that because my usual like daily stuff is like planking and push-ups and stuff like that. And apparently, if you're looking to tone certain parts of your body, doing push-ups can stop that, because it focuses the like not just for like general health, but like for like trying to adjust your body a bit. You're only using a certain amount of energy from what you've eaten and stuff. And if you use it with your push-up routines and things like that, that usually in guys build up quickly. Then when you do like your core exercises, it'll still help in general, but your body has already sort of been using everything for that like allotment of stuff that you have going on. So I don't know, it's interesting. Like it's very much advice that's like, you clearly care about your health. This is more about like getting what you would want out of it for like just your own edification or whatever. But that stuff's interesting. And that's sort of why I've stuck with it. But so far, I haven't seen him get into any like, actually the best way to work out is to starve yourself, or the fucking the people who are all like secretly into CrossFit, but they like don't talk about it since it has a bad rep now and all that stuff. Like that fucking stuff that Marjorie Taylor Greene puts up of her doing horrible CrossFit online while she talks about like how big a cucks all the like Democrats are.
I have not seen that she does CrossFit, but based on everything I know about Marjorie Taylor Greene, that makes perfect sense.
It is, the little bits that I've seen are just like, of course she does. You got rats, or
somebody's knocking on my door.
Maybe you should check that. Let me see if I have something to talk about.
All right.
That was a noise. So here's the thing that's been happening that is real weird. Ever since we've jumped into like most of the country is starting to open up for the availability of vaccinations, there's a lot of people out there who have picked up their DM game and are just sending the horniest shit to my DMs. I imagine a lot of people's DMs in, I guess, preparation for what they imagine will probably be a incoming fuck fest. I don't think that's what's actually going to happen, but there's definitely people out there who wish it were. So I guess you probably already noticed that if you're as sexy as I imagine anybody who watches this is, and you're also like all on the internet at all. But that's really been adding to the sort of unpleasant loosening of all of the like precautions that people are supposedly taking for continuing COVID mitigation. Let me click away from this picture of late night tacos at midnight Doritos and see why I'm getting a bunch of pictures in my various messages. Oh, all right. What? Oh. Huh. Okay. Well, it's just memes. It's about the normal level of dankness, honestly. It's not even that good. Well, it's probably good that I don't personally have a tolerance for weed, because I already like to eat, and it sure seems like this is picking up a little bit. Let's see. I do have another Poetry Month piece for later. I've got some movie business to talk about, some TV business to talk about. Not too much structure.
Hello.
Hello.
That was my landlord and his girlfriend. They wanted to introduce themselves. And their dog, who was very cute.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's fine.
Yeah, I've met them both separately a couple of times, but not all together at once.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
How's that dog?
He's pretty good. He's a like a Chihuahua mix of something. Not sure what he is, but he's really cute and he's really small. And his name is Pinto, which is also very cute and
yeah,
small.
That sounds all right.
Mm-hmm. This morning, he was chasing around. We have a cat that wanders around the neighborhood that has a collar, so like lives in a house around here somewhere. I don't know where, but they were just chasing each other around the yard and playing because he's small enough to where he can't do anything to the cat.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. Pretty good to watch.
There's been a lot of trying to avoid reality cat videos online this week that have just popped into various feeds.
Yeah.
That seems like it seems like cat videos are the closest thing to general welfare we're going to get for a little while.
You want a stimulus check? No, the best we can do is this really cool meme of a cat.
Stimulus checks. Those are for bitches.
Here's a TikTok of two cats chasing each other around the kitchen. There you go. That fixes everything, right? We're even now.
I guess in a slightly more bummer news, have you heard about Florida?
Not a lot about it, because I spent most of today on the other news. But I'm ready to hear all about it.
All right, everybody. I'll preface this by I'll just read off. Once again, people already had to deal with this earlier, but I will navigate away from late night tacos at midnight and head over here to Twitler, where to set it up. Okay, well, I do like just reading tweets now. I do enjoy a tweet that just went out from somebody that just says, "Rancid liberals, shut the fuck up challenge." I'm into that. Anyway, for preface, my earlier tweet of, "Hey, Florida, fuck you, especially Governor Ron DeSantis." Florida spent the morning being up to some shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they probably decided to do that because most people kind of had some idea of where the Chauvin stuff was headed, which is the right direction, but Florida basically emergency signed in a bill called the Combating Public Disorder Bill, which you can probably already imagine is not great.
Sounds great.
This bill, let me find the breakdown of it that goes over it better. Oh, not Matt Gaetz. That would be more fun to talk about, kind of. All right, come on. All right, so I believe they also earlier this year did something sort of similar in Oklahoma. So it's not the first thing like this, but it's the first one that's like larger and in a place where people look at all the time. Mm-hmm. So let's see. Yeah. So the first major thing that I think a lot of people are going to see about this bill is that it grants criminal and civil immunity to people who drive into crowds on roads because they are blocking the street, which if you're blocking a street leading into a highway now in Florida, that's a felony. So that's interesting. And so it's really just vigilante justice against felons now, if you want to run people over. They have taken away the penalties for people doing that, because what they're saying it's because of is the danger that people in cars were in when rioters would attack them. Sure. So that's like the biggest, like very obvious thing, is that it's essentially saying like, hey, just free for all on people who are protesting. If you want to run them over, you should. We're legally saying that you can do that now. So that's sort of like the first thing that I think pops out from this.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
That was pretty bad. The other stuff, of course I fucking find a list of this and then navigate through 1,000 other things that fuck it over. All right. Yeah, it's also one of those where they just signed it into law without any sort of like extra shit. So hopefully there's something that people can push back on, because they're going to need to for some of this. There's a lot of people giving their statements of how bad this is that live in Florida. How is this eluding me all of a sudden? Anyway, so the other stuff it does is it, and this is what I remember of it. So you should look up this bill in Florida. You can just write like DeSantis Florida bill and you will get it. It turns a lot of things having to do with like being disagreeable in public into being felonies. It takes away specifically the penalties for running into people with your car. Obviously, that's not going to count if somebody is said to have been doing it maliciously, but it seems like this is the amount of defense to people who do that shit maliciously is overwhelming. There's almost no chance you would have that issue unless maybe you weren't white or something along those lines. Mm-hmm. It takes away people's ability to have what was it? It was like lawsuits against the police in regards to like how they handle public disturbance.
Huh. That seems like a not great move.
That seems like a really specific thing that they want to combat, like maybe letting their police do whatever they want and having that be legally fine. This seems like a bunch of things that you would absolutely have to have people vote on for it to be even close to legal. But apparently if you are in Florida and you say, I'm gonna do this now, they just let you. So that's cool. Anyway, I'm not going to try and list off the other like half of it that is equally what you would expect and bad because I can't find the list with my stupid tabs because, you know.
But basically, it's a lot of stuff that is infringing on like free speech and your ability to exercise or protest. Any sort
of across the boards, it is making it more expensive, more likely that you will end up in prison. Oh, that was the other thing is if you are disturbing the peace, cops can now legally hold you until your first court date in captivity. So they can now, if this stays, they can legally just remove you from society until you get your court date, which I would also note that there's a fuck ton of people who have been in prison all the way through COVID because everything slowed down and they couldn't get their court date for shit that is nothing. Like, people are just in prisons right now for basically no reason. Some of them for the reasons you would expect, and some of them for, like, getting pulled over, you know? So, this is basically making that easier in Florida and trying to solidify it as, like, a legal option.
Yeah. I mean, the car thing is also, it's all concerning, but that thing, that is really particularly concerning, because we even saw that in Coeur d'Alene, like, over the summer. Yeah, there were a bunch of videos of circulating of, like, trucks revving up and, like, getting close to protesters on the street, and I'm surprised that they're not trying to do something similar in Idaho, honestly.
They're probably too busy trying to cook up some anti-trans bills or something, because that seems to be
that's
the other thing that
kind
everybody
of our
loves right now.
Yeah.
Lot of fun, cool things that politicians are doing that definitely seem like things that they should legally be allowed to do to me. Loving that.
Love that. For us.
Yeah. Speaking of loving that, so we both watched the first episode of The Circle, season 2. I can't fucking remember like a third of the people's names, and it's still the craziest shit that they've done with that stuff so far, I think.
Yeah, I cannot believe that show got a second season.
It was already so terrible.
And the fact that they have Chloe from Too Hot to Handle is honestly the only redeeming factor in this whole show so far. Yeah. I'm like, she is probably the only reason that show got made. Is they probably weren't going to do it until she signed on, and they were like, okay, this is a go now.
Just like while you were gone, I was talking about like a cavalcade of horny DMs that have been showing up as soon as like everybody got okayed for the COVID vaccination signups. It's like people are prepping to just go buck wild, which I don't think is really actually going to happen because safety is still a measure. But that feeling of just ambient horniness is definitely, every time they put her on screen, she's just the most on main you can possibly be with it. Just the like, she's like always a step away from being like, oh, I'm gonna suck this guy's dick. Like every time. I
do enjoy, yeah.
The interactions on that show are amusing, but I think if they didn't have her on there, they would be like the first season again. And like, it's already going to end up like that anyway.
Yeah.
It's such a bad idea for a show, but it does make sense to do it during quarantine for filming. So I guess that's okay.
Well, I don't even I actually thinking back now, did the first season come out during COVID?
No, the second one.
That was that
Seems
was
like it would have to be
before.
filmed during it though.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah,
I
was
think
trying to remember if that's why they came up with the idea was because
so.
of. I'm guessing
Maybe.
not, because they eventually have the opportunity to like meet each other and fuck basically at the end occasionally, which seems like really. Well, I guess that's pretty in line with like most of reality TV.
For anybody who watched Too Hot to Handle, that basically was the only thing that happened in that show.
Mm-hmm. Where is that season 2?
Where is that season 2?
Speaking of ambient horniness, and we're all like, people are rearing to go and to get out there. That's the show we need. That's the show that'll make people stay inside a little bit more and hold off.
God, that show is also a nightmare, but the people were so flatly stupid on that show at all times that it was I watched the whole thing in a sitting. It's impossible to look away from like just the grasping hands of a barely conscious idiot trying to like hot their way into stuff is so good and so purely awful. I would watch the second season of that in a second.
Yes.
Like
I would have wanted that before the Circle season 2.
Telling people that I've seen an episode of The Circle should be a clear indication that it's not as watchable. Like it's fine, but they end on a cliffhanger of like who's gonna get safe for this round, and I was like, I'll find out eventually.
I don't care. But when I was watching Too Hot to Handle, I needed to know how many points were getting deducted for the hand stuff that they did last night.
Yeah, you gotta know. I saw what they did. You gotta tell me how many points that is.
I guess it wasn't points, it's dollars, but
same difference, yeah. Wasn't there like a late game blowjob that cost like $1,000? Yeah.
And of course it was like I think it was that one couple that just blew through all the money for everyone.
Right, yeah. And it was also they already had a lock. I remember that because like that was like their victory lap was we're just gonna do this thing and lose this money to show how into it we are, which is like the dumbest possible version of losing $1,000. Like, wait a day. Like, it's not a big deal.
It's $1,000. God.
You could go to 10 exceptional dinners. That would be way better because you could have 10 exceptional sleepy blowjobs in that space. Who cares?
There you go.
You don't spend that much money.
They're just not thinking of the investment that could be.
You always got to.
Or they're not really thinking of at all.
Yeah.
I love that show so much.
They got fucking the dumbest Jesus of all time on that show.
They had every single brand of man boy that there is.
They had the like the guy who's just like, I'm a lion. And then they had the guy who was like maybe the dumbest, but he was like, what was it? He was the young one. Because he was one of the like pseudo winning team, but
he was like one half of that really horny couple that lost the money for everyone.
Right.
Yeah.
Who at the end they try to pretend like, oh, they're such a good couple though. Actually, so, come on. I want to say I saw something about them like breaking up very quickly, like all of the couples did, and
I was gonna check my phone and see if they were still together or not.
Go for it.
I wonder if gosh, what was that other horrible Netflix show where they couldn't see each other and they had to talk and pick a fiance.
Love is Blind?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't see that one, but that's the only name I could see it having.
Yeah, that.
Too Hot to Handle, the show where you can't touch people. The Circle, the show about a circle of apartments that have a fake social media called The Circle. The other one about Blind. Love is Blind. The one where you can't see the people you love or something.
All these shows seem very specifically planned for COVID times, which I guess makes sense. But I feel like most of them were happening before COVID.
I think this is the only reality show that could have been while it was going on for filming.
Yeah, probably.
Because Too Hot to Handle was the other most recent, and that came out in the beginning of last year. All right?
That sounds right. Which Too Hot to Handle couples are still together?
0.
Okay.
It's
Here we go.
The couple that had a single mother as part of it. Are they still together? Because that's the only one I would be pro for.
Sharon and Rhonda.
Yeah. Did you just remember those names?
No, I'm scrolling through a BuzzFeed article. In April, they exclusively told In Touch magazine that they were still talking all day, every day. Unfortunately, they seem to have fizzled out since then.
Okay. Excellent.
Aww. Harry and Francesca.
Those are those assholes.
Yeah, the assholes.
They're married and have 5 kids.
Francesca previously told In Touch exclusively she and Harry talked every day about how they were going to get engaged, but on the Netflix reunion, she revealed they actually broke up for about 8 months. Things seemed to be on the right track when they met each other's families soon after the show, but there came a time when they weren't seeing eye to eye on a lot of subjects. This is a good part. They reunited after Harry drunkenly reached out one night, and the British Columbian beauty thought they were in it for the long haul.
Okay.
In June 2020, they broke up again.
Right.
And that is the end of that story. I don't even remember these people.
Yeah, that seems
David
right.
And Lydia, Francesca and Haley. Oh yeah, Haley. I forgot about her.
Haley was the one who was like
really
very closeted seeming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it'd make your boyfriend really jealous.
What if we just like had sex a little bit? Does it make him jealous?
Let's prove a point to all of the boys by kissing each other.
Let's show them that we mean business.
By making out with me right now.
that was an amazing show. Now that I'm thinking about it, everything about the show was the trashiest garbage.
I loved it. Nicole and Bryce. Oh yeah, I hated that guy.
What?
That guy who was like a weird
oh god, the LA guy,
who lived on a boat.
Bad at the piano, lived on a boat. Talked about living on a boat like, hey, you know, I live on a boat. Which is like, what? Cool.
Yeah.
And he played piano and he was like terrible.
Uh-huh. Oh, there's not even it doesn't even say.
Doesn't mention the uncoupleds.
It says Nicole and Bryce. It just says they were friends after filming ended. Great, cool.
Cool, excellent.
That's the best I could have hoped for, I guess.
Huh.
So that's where they are now, everyone.
Yeah.
In case you were wondering about that.
So the Circle season 2 has a woman who is pretending to be her husband without her in existence as a single father. I think that's kind of funny.
Yeah, I'm enjoying
she
that.
is bad at talking like a dude. That's pretty funny.
I knew from the first thing she said, where, God, what? It was that one guy who's like, what is he, like a breathing instructor? He was like, welcome to the chat, everyone. I really dig everyone's vibes. And then she, as her husband, posted like, man, I'm just really missing my kids so much that I have, because I have them. I have kids. But no person.
Yeah, Bricklebrack, the breathing instructor, is like just the most horrible. Like when he first showed up, my thought was like, okay, my instinct is to hate this guy. I'm not gonna hate him for that. Like he's probably a decent enough person, and he's just not. Every time he's on screen, it's like he's developed this entire career of being a breathing instructor, which is like, do whatever you want. Make money by doing nothing. I would prefer it. If everybody could make money by fucking like eating Reese's Pieces eggs every day, I would be fine with it.
They should do that.
That would be a-okay. Fake job aside, this guy seems like he uses his like pseudo yogi persona to talk about how amazing he is exclusively. Every time anything happens, he's just like, everybody's gonna love me. Every time. He talks in when they're voting for like where people are ranked as a group. Everything that he talks about is just like, well, I'm obviously going to be number one, but I might be lower if they're like trying to be tactical about it.
If they're playing the game, I might not be winning.
I might not be number one because I'm going to be so intimidating. And every time anybody would send a message about anything, he'd be like, I love this. He sucks. But what's Bricklebrack's real name? Do you remember?
I want to say Tyler, but I don't think that's correct.
That would fit, but it's like.
Please hold. I'll look up Bricklebrack's name.
Is it like Bryson?
Is it Tyson?
Tyson?
Circle Netflix season 2. Oh boy.
No spoilers. We don't
No
want to.
spoilers allowed.
We don't want to know who gets replaced.
Oh boy. Okay. Delisa Jack Atkins.
Delisa Jack Atkins. That can't be his name.
That's not. It's
Is it Bricklebrack?
Is it Bryant?
It has to be Bryant. Yeah.
I think it's Bryant.
Okay. Well, yeah. Bryant sucks.
Hello. Yeah, we're podcasting. Aww. It's a Jenny.
Can I say hi?
Yeah, you can say hi.
Can I make a guest appearance?
Yeah. You can't hear us, though. Tell her that Bricklebrack sucks.
Hi, Jesse.
Hello. I was just saying that Bricklebrack sucks on the Circle Season 2. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think breathing instructor is a real job?
What kind of instructor?
A breathing instructor?
Oh. Oh, snacks.
Oh, yeah, we need like some live reactions.
I have to say, I think it's very helpful.
Okay.
But I don't know. I mean, what do you consider a real job, you know?
I think all jobs are fake, but I think breathing instructors annoy the shit out of me when they're on TV talking about how cool they are.
Oh wait, I kind of get what you mean. Like on the TikToks when they're like, inhale, exhale. when it's more like trying to convince people they're breathing wrong.
Yes. Also, I'm just glad we have another perspective on this.
It's important. Have you seen The Circle? The first season of The Circle?
Dude, I haven't.
On Netflix. Well, they just released the second season.
That, so I'll have to watch it.
It's aggressively stupid, but we're definitely
gonna watch it. Have you seen Too Hot to Handle?
No.
Oh, I have to make her sit down and watch that. It's like a special type of torture. It's about a bunch of really dumb hot people trying to not beg each other for money.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. No, see, I don't watch a lot of shows like that, but I need to start so I understand this.
I feel exactly the same way, and that show is mind poison that everybody needs to see at least
that
once.
You need to watch. Okay, yeah. I'll make that. We'll do that.
Excellent.
Yeah, I mean, is anything real, you know?
I mean, not really, but this strawberry gum is real.
Gum?
Yeah.
I love gum.
Don't swallow 3 or 4 pieces of it, though.
Yeah, I swallowed about 2 pieces of it before I realized what it was.
Oh my gosh. You can give me anything, I'll eat it.
Yeah, so Jesse sent
Where'd
me
you get this?
Jesse sent me this package of just like fun
Oh my gosh, dude.
Fun stuff. Yeah, you'll have to try.
Are these from Seattle?
No. They're from the internet.
Yeah.
Oh.
But like look at this one. I'm excited for this one too. It's got like a toothpick. Like you eat it with a toothpick. So cute.
I actually love the flavor of these.
Oh yeah?
It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
I've tried probably half of what I've seen show up here.
Yeah, there's a lot that I haven't.
Let me be like an influencer. Okay, everyone, this strawberry.
Let me get Google Translate out, and I'll try and see what that says.
Chris bought me a knife.
Oh, really?
Like $150.
Oh, really?
I know. Julie was like, "How are you going to repay him?"
You should watch Too Hot to Handle and get some tips on
it. There's also this. It's like a.
Do you need translator?
Crunchy corn stick.
I can see there's 6 pieces. I see my experience with Japanese video games does not help.
It does not.
None of those things say enter.
It's like a big Cheeto.
Oh my god.
That's the big octopus Cheeto.
Are those like fake cigarettes?
Yeah. They're like kind of the.
Why are Asian snacks and candies so elite compared to American?
Cute.
Because they were all made in the 50s. They have like 5,000 different versions of candy corn. It's all better.
Yeah,
these are so freaking cute.
Everything I ate this already. I wish I saved it to show you. It was a little gummy bear head.
Yeah, you could use that mold for something.
I'll take it.
Oh yeah, we could keep it.
You could just be a complete trash person like me and use trash to make new stuff.
Yeah,
I do that. I love repurposing like random old.
I would 100% shove clay or plaster into that and make little bear heads to paint.
That would be fun. I'm excited for these two that look like Otter Pops, but
that's that jelly shit.
Yeah.
Does it have the thing in the middle to snap it?
I don't think so.
Okay, that might be different jelly shit than I'm thinking
of. Thanks for letting me slub shot. I'm gonna go. I'll be back. I'm gonna make eggs and rice after I get back. So if you're, I don't know,
like
when you guys
together.
Okay.
I want to see it.
We'll have to visit soon, so we can all make food together.
Are you making just like the rice and then doing the egg on top? I was probably
gonna do the sticky rice, and then do you think I should microwave the rice on top, or just like soft scramble and then put it over with sesame and soy sauce?
You could. I mean, soft scrambling would be good, but if you microwave it and it's hot enough, you can probably just.
I'm intensely jealous at the moment.
You know?
It's true. Maybe scramble it.
It's torturous watching this food plan happen.
Exchange. Don't worry, you'll be able to visit and we'll make some food plans.
I have stuff to talk about after the podcast for that anyway, so it's a good day for it.
Good.
So I guess I do want to mention a couple things about The Circle. The main reason why people should watch The Circle is because there is a old man who's pretending to be a young man. I can't tell if the old man is gay or not, but he's definitely pretending to be gay for the young man and not aware of how to do it. So that's been really fun. It's been like just awkward enough where people will be like, hey, what are you into? And he'll just be like, everything if the time's right. And it's like, this is a weird way to respond to things.
Everything if the time's right. Rainbow emoji.
It's a little rough. He does talk about being so lit at one point.
Yeah, that was a moment.
He reminds me intensely of like somebody's like not somebody's dad, but somebody's like uncle who like probably isn't gonna have kids, like that style of personality, because he's like, you know, he's got his own business going on. But like also maybe somebody who doesn't go outside a lot, who's trying to write about also what he looks like he's probably in his 50s. And the weird thing in this show is that everybody who's fake, who's not using their own images, is using a friend of theirs as their photos. And he's like, yeah, my good friend who's like 21 or 20, I think it's
Something
21.
like that. Yeah.
And it's just like, where's this like your son age guy who's like given you hundreds of pictures of him for this show? Like,
and his name is River, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a nice name, except I can't think about the name River without thinking about we had a dog named River for like years when I was a kid. And so having a human named River is just hard for me to like recalibrate to.
Hard to, yeah.
It's like if I met a guy named Jasper, I would be like, oh yeah, of course, like the cat.
I would be like, oh, like the Twilight man.
Yeah, it's like if you met somebody named Spicy.
Okay, yeah, that would be difficult. That would take some time to recalibrate.
Yeah.
Shoot, there was something I was gonna say about having to do with him. Oh, he also, so he's like an author in his day job, in his real life, and he says at one point that he is like a semi-famous author of and his pen name, or like what do they call it, pseudonym, is like a woman, and he writes from a female point of view,
right,
or something like that. I'm like, what is, I want to know what it is so bad.
Yeah, I don't know, that guy is mysterious. I wonder if it's just that he's like out of his comfort zone and that's why he seems like he can't write anything, or what, because it's really not giving the impression that he writes.
What if his pen name is Aaron Hunt? He just wrote the entirety of the Warriors Cat series and doesn't know how to write people.
That honestly, that would be perfect. He's like, yeah, you know, I had to go with the name River because Bramble Pelt was already taken. I couldn't be Nightclaw. I feel like people would pick up on it. So he's going to start talking to people about like their scent or some shit.
Would you like to be my apprentice? The clans go to battle at midnight.
I see you have the star mark.
Oh God, no! Oh, no.
We cannot talk about warrior cats. We might as well fucking talk about Bionicles. This is going to be the worst podcast of all time.
When I was at Post Falls recently, I dug through all my parents' old DVDs and I found all of the Bionicle movies.
Did you?
And having no, I'm having her send them to me because it's important.
How soon will you have them? Because I can think of a future where there's some watching parties that might have to happen.
I should have them soon.
It's going to be several hours of me turning to you saying, "Do you like this?"
Oh my god.
Fuck.
I just found out the other day that there's only one person in my like Discord server that has a fair amount of people in it. One other person who knows what Bionicles are. And they're all like guys my age. So this like does not add up to me. They should know.
I mean, it's not like they're fucking silly bands. Like, people were around that shit a lot.
We're popular, right? Like, people...
Yes. Bionicle and, like, Ninjago were the weird bullshit that was, like, all over the place. Like, people know what that stuff is. Yeah. They made video games about Bionicles and Ninjago. Like, that shit exists in mainstream. Right. These are video gamers.
Yeah, all these people, like they should know this because we were listening to some playlists and then that All American Reject song came on. That's
it's a good playlist you have going on.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, it's the Bionicles song, and they were all like, what are you talking about? And I could not believe that I was the only one who associates Move Along with Bionicles.
To be fair, I might pretend not to know what you meant if that came up.
I know you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I feel like we're getting into some dangerous territory here. We gotta pull out loose. Of. We've hit Bionicles and Warrior Cats in the same chunk of time, and things are gonna get real bad if it
seems
goes
like
down
a very 420 podcast, if you ask me.
That's fair. I'll just talk about my favorite Lego Harry Potter games for a while.
I think the Indiana Jones ones were the best ones.
Yeah, the whip swinging was kind of fun, and they had better backgrounds than those kind of shitty Star Wars ones.
Yeah, I didn't like the Star Wars ones super. Wow.
Yeah, but it did capture how boring Tatooine is. So there's that.
That's true.
Did you ever play the Lord of the Rings one?
No.
So there's an ongoing. This is a stupid conversation. There is an ongoing dilemma in the world of Lego video games specifically.
Oh boy.
And that is, should Legos talk? Should they have like their own shit going on?
Take your car to the gym.
Or my keys out there?
I just don't want to bike. I'm too lazy.
No, that's fine. Are my keys out there, or are you looking? Yeah.
Wait, do you guys have a gym there?
She has a gym. She do.
I thought there was a gym attached to your apartment building. It's like, that's interesting. So before the Lego movie sort of pseudo solidified that they could talk, they were trying stuff out.
I remember this in the games.
So one of the things that they tried out was Lord of the Rings. Instead of having them talk, well, they do, but instead of recording lines with people, they ripped audio from all of the movies, and they just laid audio over the Legos talking to each other with, like, background noise and everything sometimes.
Oh, no.
So it would be them coming together, and then one of them being like, "At my axe!" And you'd hear, like, that exact voice clip, but it would be a Lego in, like, the wrong place. Like the Uruk-hai shooting Boromir with arrows, I think. There's audio from that scene in that Lego scene, but they're shooting him with like arrows tipped with like suction cups and banana peels and shit. But he's like doing the oh and like making the noises of him getting hit with the arrows. And I think Frodo's like, no! It's like all of that shit is in there. It is actually sort of terrifying as like what if you just took benign little like toy figurines and then like overlaid movie audio, but not in order. Like it's just clips of the audio throughout the entire thing that just show up, and the rest of the time they're still pantomiming and being like, oh, like not talking, just like making body motions, or doing the like this brick, like that weird bullshit they do in those games. It's real weird. You can get that game for like $4 online, I think. If people want to, they should, because it is exceedingly strange and like a very relaxing strange. So.
Yeah, all of the Legos video games are pretty kind of relaxing, good time generally.
Yeah, I think the only one that I played that was newer was one of the like superhero ones that has like, it just feels like there's no rules in those games anymore. Like I want to say it's like Marvel Superheroes or something. But it's the first one, and it's basically just a town, and you can turn into any of them. Like, there's like 100 superheroes, and they do some stuff different. And if you don't want to do anything specific, there's literally, it's just a weird town that you're walking around in, shooting eye lasers or whatever the fuck. Oh, it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
I play a lot of stupid shit, though, so... maybe don't waste your money on it, people out there, if you want real video games.
No, I think you should.
Okay, waste your money on it.
Waste your money.
Throw your money at Legos.
Do that. Mm-hmm.
I do appreciate that Lego are trying to transition into new building materials to not use plastic, so... Or not use the same kind of, like, forever plastics and stuff.
Mm-hmm. That seems like it would be really relatively easy for them to do.
Yeah.
And isn't going to take anything away from the experience of Legos, so...
Yeah. I had old Legos, and they already turn weird colors and, like, kind of warp eventually, so... It's not like you're changing something that otherwise would last forever.
Yeah.
They just make them out of metal. Just super sharp, super aggressive Legos.
Those would be fun to step on.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yes.
Oh, you're doing drugs now.
I'm doing the drugs. The drugs are...
Is that gum?
Japanese candy with cats on them. This is, no, it's not gum. What could I compare this to? It's just like a hard candy.
That specifies from the look of it that it's good until 2022 AD. Is that is that important? Wow.
Whoa.
All right.
I mean, I don't want to, you don't want to get it messed up with 2022 BC, because if you eat it BC, that could cause some problems, you know?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah, I think so.
To future-proof things.
I think so. Also, this packaging reminds me of like birth control.
Absolutely. I was going to say, it looks like if they redesigned birth control to be less discreet.
If they made birth control like this, I might actually be interested in taking it. Yeah. That would be more fun. Why isn't my birth control like a what do they call it? An advent calendar of birth control?
They could make them more interesting to look at, and they could make them like something worth eating instead of just a boring... They almost look like a Pepto-Bismol pill to me. Like the little stomach, like acid pills.
Mm-hmm. Wait, that's actually genius. They should make advent calendars of birth control. Just like put it in the middle of chocolate. Like a dark chocolate.
Just wrap it in chocolate like you're a dog.
Yeah.
No, it's a little bacon pellet, and you put the thing right in the middle.
Just put in some peanut butter. It's fine. Hey, I would remember to take that pill.
Yeah, absolutely. I also think that they should. I mean, I think they should do a lot of things about that. I think they should have people be able to just get 1 month, like reusable things for it, and you should be able to take it in and have them just refill it.
That would make so much more sense.
Because I feel like while disposable seems like the easy bet for a lot of people, having something that you actually own and could have personalized and stuff makes way more sense if we actually want to like get people to give a shit about that kind of stuff.
And this is like not super related, but have you heard people talking about the blood clotting issues with the J&J vaccine?
Yeah, actually, that's one of the things that I was mid looking up, and then the weed blew out of my mind.
Yeah, well, the reason why I'm thinking about this now is because we're talking about birth control, and a lot of people were pointing out that the blood clotting, like the chances of that happening with that vaccine are pretty slim. I don't remember the numbers, but it's like 99 point something it's not going to happen to you.
The sort of not arbitrary, but the projected number of if everybody in the entire US took that vaccine, around 300 people might get blood clots, was what I heard. And that's
just to like put it into a perspective of a population of people. But a lot of people are pointing out that when it comes to like birth control and things, the clotting, I know the clotting factor is not the right term, but the rate at which that happens to people is much, much higher. And it's very interesting that we care about it now when it's, I guess, affecting everyone, but when it's just something that women take like every day, a lot of women take every single day, it's not really important. Like
I think the mistake you're making is that right now, a lot of people are taking something.
Yeah, I think that seems to be the main difference.
I understand that you're concerned about what women are doing, but right now, actual people are taking these vaccines. There are real consequences to this.
I know. Okay, yeah, that's true. Real things could happen to real people.
That's right. The thing I was looking up was similar, but not quite that, which was the standards that you have to pass to get through the FDA for drugs is so much laxer than that amount of blood clotting. Like the amount of like life-threatening things that can happen to you is still higher in a lot of just general drugs than even the blood clots with this, which are a problem, but like you're taking something that is literally adding chemicals to your blood. There's always going to be a chance that something might not process with you the same way as it does with most people.
And you would think that would get people thinking like, if this vaccine that like ostensibly a bunch of countries are working together on to make or not, and a lot of scientists are working on all at the same time, a lot of effort's been put into this, a lot of money's been put into this. If you're still worried about that one, that's a very high stakes vaccine based on what's happening, and you're not worried about the other things, or like the fact that the FDA doesn't really care about the other drugs that they're giving you, it's just like,
well, and the problem with that
speaks to what we've become okay with.
The other extreme is anti-vaxxers, because like it's true, like we should be looking at this as like everybody needs to be looking after this stuff, but like I'm not going to fault the FDA for being stringent enough. Like the FDA can adjust, but like it's the messaging of like putting it out. Like if somebody said like you have a 1 out of 10 chance of getting a bloody nose, like people would still be upset.
Mhm.
But like I think most of the time we just wouldn't say that. Like, and the blood clot thing, I get that there are like shitty places trying to like push back against that stuff, but in any other circumstance, that wouldn't be a problem. I think honestly, it's only because that's something that goes to places that aren't just here, where like stringency is even higher. Like people actually are doing jobs to ensure that other people aren't harmed in some other countries, which we don't do here. Here, we just try to keep it low enough to where the complaints don't get high enough for it to be a problem.
Mhm.
I mean, like the police, for example. But, you know.
Speaking of police, should we?
Go on.
The big news today, not breaking news. The Derek Chauvin murder trial, found the jury came to a verdict or whatever, and he was found guilty on all 3 of the charges.
Do you have those charges?
I'll look them up.
Okay.
I will look them up. 3. I know one of them is... Okay, here it is. 2nd degree unintentional murder, 3rd degree murder, and 2nd degree manslaughter.
Okay. Yeah, a bunch of versions of murder that are like, it's close.
Yeah, so this article kind of explains. It says the 2nd degree unintentional murder alleged that he caused Floyd's death without intent while committing or attempting to commit felony 3rd degree assault. So
Okay.
I from what I've heard, that's like a Minnesota specific law that's like if you kill someone while you're doing the felony,
Gotcha.
that's what happens.
That's like if you're trying to rob a store or something and you kill somebody without really meaning to.
Yeah.
Something
basically,
maybe like that.
The 3rd degree murder charge alleges that he caused Floyd's death by perpetrating an act eminently dangerous to others and evincing a depraved mind without regard for human life.
God, things are just worded so good in law.
Yep. 2nd degree manslaughter charge alleged he caused Floyd's death by culpable negligence whereby the person creates an unreasonable risk and consciously takes chances of causing death or great bodily harm. So,
okay,
just reading through these, it's so disappointing that there is even, in any world, a chance that these might not apply to what happened. Because I can't think of a more like open and shut, easy case that has so much like photographic, the video, like all of it. There were a bunch of witnesses. I cannot think of another better example of something that is so easy. And
I can think of only one example, and it's only because of how extreme it is. Because the Floyd example is like, there's just enough of the not lead up to it to where it's like, well, this is obviously not okay. Like, I think everybody can see that. I think being on camera shooting a unarmed 13-year-old might be more like beyond that. But I think they already guaranteed that charges wouldn't be brought up against the person who did that. So, fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if anyone doesn't know what we're talking about Adam Toledo, who was murdered in Chicago this last.
I think it was Chicago. It was like 6 months ago, or it was a little bit ago.
It was a while ago, and then they just released the footage, and super fun that we learn about these things like 6 months after the fact because they released the footage. Because weird, they don't want to release very incriminating footage of themselves.
Yeah, they don't want to. They don't want to release footage that was taking that footage was the last giant attempt that people had at trying to quell some police violence, and the police just try as hard as they can to hide it now instead of having any effect. If you need any idea of why we can't just do general reform and have it work, that's it. We already did that 8 years ago? No, 6 years ago. And it just doesn't mean anything. No. It means that we eventually get videos of children who are standing by a fence getting shot to death for no reason. So that's a thing. But, I guess baby steps? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, this definitely feels like a baby step, and it is good. But holy shit, did I hate watching Nancy Pelosi's thing after. Holy fuck. Those people should not be allowed to just talk like that. They shouldn't be allowed to go in front of people and give speeches. I cannot think of a more out of touch, horrendous speech to give.
I mean, she could have been in Kentacloth again. So that could have been
It was the verbal equivalent of being in a Kentacloth.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if anyone wants to get mad. Look at that, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Also, you can take a look at Biden's police budget, which I think doubled since last year. So.
Yeah, because they need funding for all the sensitivity training and the ethics training.
This is not going to get. This is specifically the budget for police equipment was doubled.
Oh, cool. Nice. That's fun.
Dope.
Yeah. The equipment really seems to be the problem, not the people who are confusing the tasing equipment with the gun equipment.
Yeah, no. For anybody who's held a taser and a gun, those feel similar. But that's why they're the best.
This on the complete opposite side of my body from the other thing that's bright yellow.
Oh, this thing that feels like sort of heavy plastic, and this thing that is a gun. Yeah. Really hard to tell them apart. I was wearing gloves. You never know what you're picking up. That's the amount of training they're getting with all of that advanced, awesome training. So, really good stuff.
That was in Minneapolis too, wasn't it?
Yeah, that shooting was of
Dante, right?
Yeah, and the thing I saw that was is that he was a student of Floyd's girlfriend, who was a teacher. So just real close together, the people in this community that are getting killed by police. Gotta be just the best, knowing that at any point, people with guns who see you as the enemy, no matter what, are just sort of allowed to shoot people without any consequences.
Yep. Did you catch any of the court proceedings at all for the Chauvin trial?
I had stuff on occasionally, but not a ton. It was just sort of I guess I should be a part of this.
Yeah, I pretty much only watched some parts of the closing arguments,
Yeah.
which I think are interesting and people should watch them, although they do play a lot of video during it. So, like, if you're not prepared for that, don't watch it. But the defense's closing argument, or one specific point that he made, that really just solidified the real poorness, that's not a word, of the argument, was he basically said something along the lines of Chauvin had a gun and could have and was authorized to use more lethal force. He had the opportunity to shoot him or to kick him or to punch him and was authorized to do so if he wanted to. But he didn't. So that's why he didn't kill him on purpose. And that's a show of no intent to do that, because he didn't kill him harder.
Cool.
That was one of the reasons it came down to. So
I remember looking at the internet last night, and the first thing I saw was that they're trying to, or night before maybe, they're trying to say that comments made by public officials affected public opinion, so they can't have a jury anymore, and the judge needs to decide. No, it wasn't Biden. It was just like Congress members saying, like, we need to pay attention to this kind of stuff. And their defense was, because they're saying stuff about it, we can't have impartiality anymore. So we can't have a jury anymore. So now you, the judge, have to just say what you think. And that was the point where I saw that as the news and was like, well, I got to go for a run now. I got to be outside right now because I
cannot be indoors.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I did see that. Especially after Biden said something about it, I saw a lot of people kind of saying that shit. Which, God, if you're Biden, like, just shut up. No one even, like, why would you even say anything at all? Because no one wants to hear from you, and you just know that people are going to do that anyway.
Yeah, like, there's nothing you can really say as Biden other than, like, sorry, I did this to everybody.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what else you're gonna do. Like, half of the fucking problem or more is, like, directly Biden's bullshit.
Mm-hmm. But don't worry, he called the family, so.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Hello, this is the president. I'm calling about your murdered family member.
But don't worry, I can relate because I too have dead family members. So
I don't know if you noticed, but I'm a real
downer guy.
So there's a lot of people I know that are dead because I should be dead. I fell up the stairs 3 times.
Do you want to pet my dog? He bites.
Yeah, do you want to get near my death machine? Don't worry, it was a wild dog. I don't actually remember the dog story. I just know that he doesn't
like need a German Shepherd or something.
He has like 2 German Shepherds, and he should have 0 because that is such a weird optic of like, God, I love the police.
He's really into Law and Order, you know.
Is he?
Mm-hmm.
Good. So, Goop is offering vacation packages to get away from COVID by going to places that don't have it. And I think that we should really look into those because one of the options that they have is a virtual vacation.
Oh.
So if you want to jump into Goop VR and just hang out with your pals, you can pay money to do that.
Wait.
To Goop.
It's a virtual vacation you pay money for.
Mm-hmm.
Is this like a something that you download to your what is it called? That thing?
The one of the many headsets.
Yeah. Is that what you do?
Let's see. All right, under their travel section, the spaces, places, and virtual experiences. Why is this website so bad? God, fuck. You have so much money. Do that weed.
I can't figure out how to do it.
Virtual tours of Gucci Garden is an option. For the first time, visiting Museo Gucci doesn't require a trip to Florence, Italy. This online tour of the museum and garden, complete with chirping birds in the background, because somebody's uncle made it, gives visitors a shopping fix and a crash course in the house's history. This sounds like a fucking post I would make at 3 a.m. on Instagram. This is garbage.
How much is this?
I don't know because this website is awful, but let me send you a picture of one of the virtual tours they have. Because I think this might be the perfect image.
Oh!
See our beautiful statues.
Where is this supposed to be?
Italy somewhere. Welcome to Relax with Goop.
Oh no. I don't like it.
It looks like a death mask. It's just... That's what I want. I want to look at that face in statue.
It looks like it did her skin treatment where they take your blood and then filter out your...
Right. It looks like that, and it looks like blood would shoot out of every orifice of that statue simultaneously.
Yeah. Ooh. Isn't that one of her other things, like blood, like actual blood facial? Yeah, that was the same thing. Yeah.
We're gonna blast some blood out of you, and then we're gonna inject the plasma into your face with what looks like very sharp needle gloves or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That, for people who haven't watched the Goop show on Netflix, if it's still there, you want to see some weird fucking cult behavior. Have that. If you want to see a guy go over the top of people who are like pretending to have orgasms, episode 5, baby.
Wow, you even remember the episode?
My mind is awful. I only remember bad things. We talked about Bionicles and warrior cats. We're trash people.
Yeah, but I don't remember this. It's impressive.
It's not. It's not good.
I didn't say it was good. I said it was impressive.
Yeah, okay. Actually, I'll take that. Thank you.
Oh no. Oh god. What were the other ones? Oh, they did
They did
the talking to the dead people one.
So the first one was ayahuasca. Was that the retreat?
Yeah.
The second one, I think, was the water therapy, the cold water therapy. With the guy who's like, you just gotta, and then like, get in the cold water.
Wait, I think that guy actually is a breathing instructor.
Yeah, you might be right. Sorry, I vibrated some stuff off the desk.
Happens.
The other ones in the middle, they talk about microdosing, but I can't remember where that fits in.
Oh yeah, there was one about microdosing, and then one about like masturbating.
Yeah, there's the vagina mirror one where they're like, "Do you like that?" That one mostly bothered me because like nobody had just a regular reaction to it, of like, oh yeah, that is a different angle. Everybody was just like, it's beautiful. Ooh. There's something weird about that reaction too. Any reaction in the extreme to looking at a mirror of your own genitals seems like it's not correct somehow to me. Like, wouldn't the best reaction being like, oh yeah, like, I don't know.
Yeah, that is
accurate.
Expected. Yeah, I don't know. See, there seemed to be a lot of self-discovery happening in those.
I feel like maybe it was a lot of rich people who don't have to think about themselves very often, and that might be why.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The kind of people where the realization that they're also human might be surprising in some fashion.
Oh!
What?
I didn't know that was there.
The spacing of that is all different.
It's a work of art.
My goodness. It's like a statue and the butthole is a stand for it.
Oh, no. Yeah, that sounds like something Goop would say.
Yeah, but then she'd also be like, I can't do push-ups. Like, fucking, her and her assistant just constantly, like, her assistant being baited into talking about, like, so what do you like about her today? Like, what do you think is amazing about Gwipple? And then her assistant just being like, everything. That show's fucking a nightmare, too.
There's a lot to unpack with that show.
There really is.
Oh, boy. Good thing we already did it, so you can go back and listen to that, everyone.
Yeah, I want to say there's like a Goop Part 1 and a Goop Part 2 somewhere.
I think we did have to Part 2 that one, because there's a lot.
Because we could only watch 3 episodes in a sitting without going crazy.
Uh-huh.
Because I remember at the end of the first 3 episodes, I think you made some comment of like, some of these people seem kind of normal. And by the time we got to the end, we had completely not gone down that path.
Okay, yeah. That sounds about right.
Yeah. Also, the guy who does the energy healing looked way too much like my psychology teacher in college.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Don't like that.
Even the weird turtley mouth and everything. Just him being like, and how does that make you feel? Like that kind of fucking shit.
Oh no. No. Who was the famous actress who was like totally into that? Who?
What?
It's someone that I liked too.
Oh, that's too bad. What are you talking about?
There was an actress who was like guest appeared in that episode who liked the whatever healing.
I forgot.
Not Hayden Panettiere, but it was like a blonde lady. Julie.
It was one of those blonde ladies.
One of those blonde ladies. Julie something. She's a Julia or a Julie.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Let's just look up Goop real quick. Look up some more Goop. Oh, there's that statue again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to send that statue to a group of people who I'm not going to respond to for a couple hours and let them figure out what's going on there.
That seems like the right move.
Since I'm the only one who ever uses Bing image searching, they will probably never know where that came from. Goop episode guest stars? Maybe?
Energy healing. Where is it?
Oh God, I'm being reminded of what the people on the show look like, and it's
Julianne Hough.
Right. Okay. Yeah, real weird having people show up in that who are like people elsewhere. Really gives it a Scientology vibe.
It does quite a bit, which is kind of saddening. I like Julianne Hough. I don't know anything about her. I just like her in a few movies.
I do appreciate that the one IMDb user review that I see on here is 1-star pseudoscience at its worst. Anti-vaxxers rejoice, here we come. So, yeah, that seems right.
Yeah, that seems about correct. I'm halfway expecting that like Tom Cruise or a Nicolas Cage type would show up in one of those. But
that's shit. I want to say, damn it. I sent you the name of a podcast or an episode. Do you remember what that's called? It's something beneath. I wanted to pimp that real quick. I'm currently scrolling backward. I should see it.
Okay. I don't.
Oh, right. These photos. God damn it. Where is this?
Those are in my possession now.
Oh, there's that. There we go. It's called Someplace Underneath.
Someplace Underneath. Okay.
So Someplace Underneath is a podcast that I'm going to recommend. Their first 3 episodes are about Scientology and where Shelley Miskovich is and why. And that is super interesting. It's in the Last Podcast Network, and it has people from that group of people doing it. So it's well researched. They've got a lot of interesting information. That podcast specifically is about people who have gone missing, not like murders necessarily, but like it's focusing on people who are currently actively missing. And I think that's an interesting take on trying to get the word out about shit like that and why they're concerned, because they go over some stories of like how people snuck out of Scientology and how hard it was to do that and shit like that. It's pretty worth listening to. I haven't gotten too far into the podcast yet, but episode 4 starts off talking about the Highway of Death through British Columbia, and that is a close to home story that I'm excited to hear more about. And it's also a bummer always.
Yeah, that one is particularly.
Yeah, it's a lot of First Nation women that disappeared that people just sort of are like, should we care? Which is not the response you want. What do you got there?
Taki. Yeah. I have a sore on the right top of my mouth, so I've been having to eat everything on the left.
Oh yeah.
And I'm realizing that I really hate eating on one side of my mouth.
Yep.
You don't get like the full flavor, and also anytime I eat this spicy thing, it doesn't really matter because it burns it anyway.
This is a thing that I care very deeply about. People who don't use all of their mouth to taste something make me nervous, and I feel like maybe they don't have the same human inclinations that I feel like people should have. And I know a ton of people who are just like, I don't know, don't think about how they eat things at all. At least when I've talked to them.
I've never heard of people doing that on purpose. Just like using one side of their mouth.
No, like people who these Dots Homestyle snacks are more than a little spritz with lemon flavor. It's kind of good.
Oh.
It kind of is in the same realm of people who look at me with a confused look when I talk about intentional eating or something. Where it's like, no, if you actually like eat a bite of something and like focus on it for a second, it's like super enjoyable. And then I get like confused looks, and then the next time we eat something, it's just and then for some reason they're like hungry still. I don't know. I don't understand.
I don't know how it works.
Yeah, impossible to say. Nobody's ever looked at this. This cord could be better.
What else? What else? What else? What else? Oh, I'm gonna try another bite of this octopus stick.
Yeah, I'm gonna try another bite of this octopus stick.
Is there any other flavor to that, or is it just weed flavor?
It's just weed flavor.
God.
Yeah.
What's the point of putting it in a vape then?
I don't know. Getting high, probably.
I guess. I have it in a vape specifically so I don't taste weed flavor.
I would love it if this didn't just taste like weed. And honestly, it tastes like a very, very herbal weed. Like, it's not a bad weed flavor, but it definitely tastes like I crushed up a little bit of sage and, like, rubbed it in the back of my throat. Which is, like, not really the experience I'm going for.
Mm.
It tastes like I ate Italian food wrong, is what it tastes like.
Oh, yeah. I don't know about that.
But it is making me want to order a pizza, so I guess it's doing its job.
It's doing the right thing. Mine is a, I think watermelon flavored one.
That sounds dope.
I was put onto these a couple weeks ago, and I have thoroughly enjoyed my experience.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Not too strong?
I don't think so. I mean, I haven't gone real hard on them, so
okay.
I've taken it relatively easy because I don't want to knock myself out.
Yeah, I only took another hit off of this because, one, I thought it was going to go with my roommate, and it didn't. And two, the first hit wasn't super bad, so I'm testing the water a little bit.
Yeah.
But
I do think you have to take a lot of these for it to really...
That actually seems perfect. Are they around where you are?
They're... I think the closest dispensary to me is in, like, Orofino, and I don't know that they have these.
So do you order those online instead?
I got this from a place in Spokane when I was visiting Post Falls.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So, and I had to go to 2 different stores. So I don't know. For anyone who's interested, maybe look it up before you go anywhere, because I have a hard time finding it. But they're good. Although I think, like, to turn it on, you have to suck it in, like, really hard.
Wait, does it have a light on it?
No, there's nothing.
Try holding it down for like 3 full seconds in your head.
Holding
the button.
Oh, there's not a button on this at all.
Oh,
there's no button. You just have to suck in. But I think to turn it on, you have to suck in, like, really hard.
Interesting.
Oh, yep.
Oh, you did it.
I did it.
I will say it is satisfying that it has the end light up on it.
Yeah, I do kind of like that. Makes me feel fancy.
Well,
I want to order there's a new burrito at Taco Bell, the potato-rito.
Oh fuck. I mean, it's 420. Should we order that new burrito? It seems like maybe we should.
I think kind of that we should.
I mean, this is going to run over time. Nobody's going to see these burritos, and that's okay with me.
That's fine. That's good.
But I should probably eat a burrito. I probably should.
I think you should. Last time I tried ordering from this Taco Bell, they canceled my order because they ran out of food. People down here are getting real restless for the Taco Bell.
Uh-oh, the beefy potato Rita is only $1.30. That's potentially not the best thing, because I just ordered 3 of them. That's not good.
Damn it, why did they show you what you ordered last time? I don't want to see that shit.
Ooh, yeah, don't look at that. Fuck.
It's like, would you like to reorder this 12,000 calorie
Would you like to
package?
fuck up again?
This means that as Jenny is getting back from the gym, they will be delivering my
Yeah, perfect. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh no. Oh no. We have a good dynamic. I think we balance each other out very well.
What is that balance? Does she just yell at you about the mistakes you're making?
No, she lets me be the garbage person that I am, and I really enjoy it.
Yeah, what was that? A human dog sound?
It was a something sound. Oh, there's people downstairs. Okay. Wait, I can't find the potato.
It's in one of the middle sections on here. It was in featured. And
here it is. I found it.
Yeah, it's under the spicy potato soft taco on here. It's in the potato section, even though they just poured a bunch of ground beef in it, from the looks of it.
Yeah.
It also sucks because I really like the potatoes they have at Taco Bell, and it pisses me off, especially after you introduced me to this potato taco monstrosity that I'm now kind of into.
It's so good. So good. Okay, I now have one potato taco and one beefy potato burrito. That just rolls off the tongue.
Doesn't it?
I think I need a Baja Blast.
Yeah.
Wait. Yeah.
All right. Why not?
We're not in any danger because I don't have any alcohol, so it would be good in a Baja Blast right now.
Okay. Yeah, you've already taken care of the problem, let's say.
Yeah.
I have to go up into my special you order things like this category where it's like, hey, that thing where you subbed out the specific thing, and we probably won't sub it out, but we'll say we will. Would you like that again?
Would you like to do that?
Every time I order from Taco Bell, it is the fucking cheapest. I end up spending half of the total price on tip, and it feels so much better than most of the ordering experiences.
Yeah. Taco Bell just they're probably very busy today, actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
Oh shit, yeah. Let's see when it says this is actually going to get here. That's not too bad. That's actually very reasonable.
I got it. Unknown error ID. Unknown error. Oh no. Wait.
What happened?
There were too many Taco Bells being ordered at once. Oh no, what is happening? Did it actually place it? I can't even tell.
You should have an email if it did.
What are you doing? Tell me.
We have to avoid this tragedy.
I'm gonna be so sad. I'm gonna make Jenny go pick up my Taco Bell.
How was the workout? I have something stupid
I need
to do.
Okay, no, I have an order confirmation, so it was placed.
Okay. Yeah,
it says between 9:30 and 9:26 and 9:36.
Okay,
so
that's not too far.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
I was gonna say mine says it'll be here in 15 minutes, which is why it's terrifying because I don't know how.
That is very concerning.
I feel like that's the right mistake to make. What are you holding? Oh, your light.
Doing the remote. I'm trying to figure out the correct brightness to go with here.
Does it have a top brightness?
This is, I think, that's the top. This is the top brightness.
It's not super bright.
It goes pretty dim. It's fun figuring out what color lights I like for certain times of day. I have found that I really enjoy falling asleep to like this red light, just because it's like the nice, warm, like dark color.
Yeah, I like red light for that. I also we have one of those. So that blue color, we have one behind the TV here that Nick has set up, and the blue color I think is fine. Nick really likes blue, but I enjoy having it on because blue attracts things that want to be in the way of the sun. So all the spiders that do end up in the house go behind the TV.
Oh, interesting.
And you can like tell where they are much easier. So that's on during the night, and it keeps spiders from like coming into the other parts of the house. So that's a benefit, but also don't use blue at night because that looks like it is very close to all of your things.
Yeah, this blue is too bright. I can't use it at night. The green is actually the orange is kind of fun. The orange kind of the most fun thing about it is that it just makes everything, the color of everything, look so different.
Yeah. I use color rotation stuff to check paintings. It's a combination of that and then making slides of it in black and white so you can get like the layout and see if it actually works. Because people see color differently, and if your colors are really boring when they're next to each other in black and white, usually means your picture isn't going to be very good for a lot of people. So we're coming up on the end of this very 420 See You in Hell Derek Chauvin cast. And also See You in Hell, Florida. But it is still Poetry Month. And I do still have sexual poetry to share.
Yes.
So I'm going to do that. I'm going to try to read this without having any sort of laughing fit or emotional response, because I have a hard time reading poetry and not... Yes, thank you. That's very helpful. I have a hard time reading poetry and not, that's why haiku is so good, because it's over so fast.
It's short and sweet.
This is a no-net, so it's not like a super long poem. It is, for people who don't know, it's a 9-syllable, 9-line poem that reduces in syllable each line. So it's got like a quickening pace attached to it. All right.
Okay.
I ran this past a writer, and they were like, "This works. This is not too sappy and still horny enough." So I trust their judgment here. God damn it. It's a terrible decision to do this while high. I think I was going to title this one Finding Love, which makes more sense after I read it. All right. Before we met, my time ran steady, languish, doubting, crass, and heaving. Blood then stuck with hopeful lust, unnoticed, hearts had burst, sliding, rhythmic, fair, grasping hair, slick, fingertips, finding love. Fiend. Yes, thank you.
I liked that one.
So maybe revealing too much of my poetry writing. While writing this, I was mid-line on one of them, because I try to be earnest with like my writing. I don't want to make garbage. Yet for the one from last week may have sounded like garbage, but I cared about that one too. And for people who don't do art or don't have something that they like really think hard about and are like excited when it works, this might be a revealing and what's the word? Embarrassing, I guess, feature of being earnestly creative. I, somewhere in the mid-range of it, got a line together in the way that I wanted it to be together. And as I was writing it down, I was like, and like a single tear came out. I was just like, oh no, I'm feeling something. I have to not do this for a second.
Oh, no.
And it was the most like, God, I'll never get rid of that. It's just in there forever. It happens sometimes when I like really get exactly what I'm looking for in a painting too, where I will like finish shading something and like step back to look at it and just be like, and be like, God damn it, you can't care this much about this shit. Anyway, that is number 2 of our poetry month.
I thoroughly enjoyed that one.
To the next one. I might have to go shorter for the next one again because it's rough. I
like that one a lot. I think it is the correct balance of earnest and also horny, and also, yeah, I think.
Honestly, that's what all my art is.
Earnest and horny.
That's the sweet spot.
Yeah.
It's the most honest place to be. Anyway, I'll send you the actual words if you want, because I had to note it down to send it to other people anyway. It's fine. I like some of the word choices.
Yeah.
And with that, I think we're at about 3 hours, and I'm getting just a fuck ton of messages now, so that seems like I'll need to address some of that at some point.
Probably.
Happy 420.
Happy 420, everyone.
Bajabbers.
And be gone thoughts, especially Derek Chauvin, who can be gone thought all the way to. Yeah.
I hope they put him in a private apartment with a barking dog forever.
Agreed.